building has collapsed. In response, authorities in Washington have evacuated the White House, the Capitol, and eventually closed many government buildings and sent workers home. Aviation authorities grounding all flights throughout the country. And this is the first time this has ever done. All flights have been grounded in this country. Planes arriving from overseas were diverted to Canada, although I understood within the last half hour that Canada
was working quite extraordinarily.
What does your heart tell you that you want to do now?
I want to go home and see someone, my loved ones. My partner was in this guy flying, and when I realized that, and as you're walking around town, people have radios on, and they're all out in the street listening and talking, and they said, I heard 6, 8, 10 airplanes hijacked, and then I realized I got beyond worrying about myself, worrying about my partner, and I ran into a man, an Israeli man, who had given me money to help me get a drink, and he was rushing to be with his child. His child was in a school on the north side of Manhattan, not in danger necessarily, but you just want to get with people you love. My mother had left me 25 voicemails, and so I wanted to call her and couldn't stop sobbing when I called her like an idiot.
When you go to sleep tonight, what's the image that's going to be in your head?
It's hard to know if it's going to be a sound or an image. I think it'll be the sound, the explosions. I'm still jumping every time I drop something or someone clicks their heels a little bit. It was very, very scary. So it's probably those sounds, not as much as an image.
Andrew Ward, thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew Ward, one of our correspondents who was staying in the hotel which is or was in between the two Twin Towers. Now he's Sue Keenan.
All right, thank you very much, Prue Lewarne. A very moving story. We are going to move, however, on to what this could mean for the financial markets. We are already seeing bonds surge. We've seen the price of oil surge. We're going to bring in Mark Schenk now from our financial team to give us a heads up on what to expect for tomorrow and review some of the immediate action. And Mark, I understand some of the head traders are saying that really the mentality is dealing with a system that is shut down. Why don't you take it from there? What did we see today as the immediate reaction?
Well, trading in New York for oil did not open because of the explosion. They evacuated the New York Mercantile Exchange. But in London, we saw an immediate reaction, and prices soared to an 8-month high, to over $31. They relaxed a bit, and then the London International Petroleum Exchange was overwhelmed by the volume and closed early. So tomorrow, at least we know London will open at the normal hour, and we expect the volume to be very heavy, and prices may rise some more. We don't know yet about the New York markets.
All right, I just want to point out that one of the Fed governors, Gramlich, is speaking in a speech in Tucson saying that the financial systems will be stable, making a point in his speech to voice his confidence in the system given the terrorist attack here. Again, the Fed member Gramlich. I just want to ask you again, as we look ahead to tomorrow, what should traders expect? What should investors expect?
Well, I think a lot of people are running towards those, old standbys in situations like this, things like bonds, gold even, and, oil. I mean, there's a lot of finger pointing towards the Middle East, and so the oil markets react quite quickly to it.
All right, can we talk about bonds briefly? We saw those surge, and I was just messaging a bond trader friend of mine, and he said, in big tragedies, the traditional reaction is to go long on the bonds, and a likely play would be to go long on the euro. Again, how have you seen that attitude play out in the oil market so far?
We've seen the attitude in the commodities as well. I mean, the same psychology is at work.